That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Rob Liefeld,
Liefeld, yeah.
who we have had in our studio before. Super nice guy. I really enjoyed the opportunities that we've had to talk to him. Creator, of course, of Deadpool. Been around, a lot, especially with the resurgence of Deadpool, with Ryan Reynolds making it one of the most popular characters in movies today. Well, Rob is now saying on his podcast, by the way, his podcast is also called Robservations, which is the same name of Robert Meyer Burnett's podcast. Anyway, who had it first? I don't know. I'll leave that up to them to argue about. But he's now coming out and saying that he's done with Marvel, that he has, quote unquote, cut ties after Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's not because he didn't like the movie. It's not because he doesn't like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman. He really doesn't like Kevin Feige.
Ooh.
And he says that they have actively tried to shame and disrespect him. And I guess one of the final straw was that at the premiere for Deadpool and Wolverine, him and his family were not allowed to the after party. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety, who wrote the following about this. They said this: Deadpool co-creator Rob Liefeld has declared he has cut ties in all ways with Marvel after he and his family weren't invited to Disney's after party for last July's Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. Liefeld has other gripes with Marvel involving the placement of creator credits in the film and what he perceives as a lack of respect from the film and television studio chief Kevin Feige. Liefeld attended the screening at Manhattan's Lincoln Center and says he posed on the red carpet with Deadpool and Wolverine creative team, but alleges the photos were deleted before they were posted anywhere. He said this: "It was meant to embarrass, diminish, and defeat me," he said of his experience at the New York City premiere on the latest episode of his Robservations podcast. He added his reps tried to get the Liefeld family into the party, but they were ultimately turned away by the studio's publicity team. Disney is the deciding factor here. To have them say, "You and your family are not welcome here. We tolerated you for the screening. At that point, I knew in my heart I couldn't go forward." All right. This reminds me a little bit of a scenario back when Solo, a Star Wars story, was coming out. They had two characters. They had a small role, small scene, but there were two characters in that movie called Tag and Bink that were created by a guy we know, a friend of ours, Kevin Rubio, created those characters. And he couldn't get invited to the premiere. Like the creator of those characters that were used in the movie. I mean, I even called Disney myself and said, "Hey, the guy who created these characters, he would like to come." And they couldn't get anything worked out. Now, look, I understand that premieres, limited space. There's only so many seats. I get it. After parties, I guess there are fire codes, limited seats, but how many people could go? But I'm going to look at this from 2 points of view. Mm-hmm. First of all, there's Rob there posing. I'm guessing that's with his family at the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, let me talk on the one hand for a second, and then I'm going to jump over to the other. I think Rob may be overreacting a little bit. I mean, it's not like he wasn't invited to the premiere. It's not like he has, I mean, even in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, they got his name up. Like they actually dropped Rob Liefeld Easter eggs in the movie. And you're there. And I mean, look, I don't know what the scenario was, whether it was just a simple oversight. Somebody maybe some intern made a mistake on the guest list, or they purposely, I don't want that Rob Liefeld at our party. I don't know what it was. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. All right, guys, the biggest football game of the year is almost here. And if you're like me, you're looking for a way to make it even more exciting. And that's why I use PrizePicks, the best place to get daily fantasy action. With over 10 million members, it's the easiest and most fun way to play. Here's how it works. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players' projections, and then boom, you're in. You think Patrick Mahomes will go for more than 250 passing yards? What about Travis Kelce rushing for more than 1.5 touchdowns? Pick your lineup in under 60 seconds and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Ann and I have both been playing PrizePicks all season. Let me tell you, it has been a lot of fun. This week, I'm rolling with Saquon Barkley rushing for more than 100 yards and at least one touchdown. The best part, even if one of my picks isn't perfect, PrizePicks Flex Play still lets me win. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So download the app today and use the code Campea to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. But to say, I'm going to cut all ties with you, and I want nothing to do with you, after they put your name in the movie and all that kind of, and they took this character of yours and made it a global phenomena. Yeah, I could understand being upset. I'd be upset too. But I wonder if it would be a little, if he's not just overreacting a little bit and say, I'm done with you. I'm cutting all ties with Marvel and nothing more to do with you ever again, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's on one side. But on the other side, so like if I was Rob's friend and I'm talking to him, I'm saying, Rob, listen, I get it. I'd be pissed off too. Take a breath. I mean, maybe you're overreacting just a little just because you didn't get into some party, right? Okay. Now, if I'm Kevin Feige's friend, I'm saying to him, what the hell are you doing? You literally have the creator of Deadpool here, and he's not allowed to come into the after party? It's not the biggest deal in the world, but that's some ignorant crap. I mean, I like, what on earth could be? Now, again, I want to leave space for the possibility that, hey, again, maybe some intern just forgot to put him on the list. And the poor door guy was just like, look, I'm sorry, dude, you're not on the list. I can't let you in. Or, I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know all the details, so I don't want to presume that I do. But again, if I'm on the inside over at Marvel and Disney, I would say, number one, how on earth can this happen? Number two, if it was a total mistake and a total oversight, somebody get on the phone with Rob and profusely apologize. Now, look, I've heard some people say that Rob Liefeld in the last couple of years, I'm not saying this, I've heard the criticism say that Rob Liefeld wants to be the belle of the ball, like wants all the attention to be on him with all the Deadpool stuff coming out. And maybe there's some legitimacy to that, and maybe there's not at all. But something like this, he didn't ask to be the one to introduce the movie at the premiere. He's just, hey, I'm here with my family. Can we come into the party of the movie centered around the character I created? And to say no, again, if it was an oversight and an accident, they should have gotten on the phone with him, say, hey, Rob, listen, I heard about what happened at the party. Man, I'm so sorry about that. That was a massive oversight on our part. Tell you what, let me make it up to you. Why don't we do X? Like, hey, if we get a Golden Globe nomination, why don't you come sit at the table with us? Or, something like that. So on both sides, I think Rob might have been overreacting a little bit, but at the same time, this is not something Marvel should have let happen in the first place.
But on the other hand, let's say there's someone that you get along with, like business-wise, whatever. Like you invite, like, let's say you're getting married. You invite them to the wedding, but you feel if they appear at the after party, they could get drunk. You guys could get in a fight like that you guys been fighting. It may be one of those situations, you know what I mean, John? Like where it's like, yeah, me and you are close enough. You're invited to the wedding. You're going to be there. We know it. But I know how you could be in public setting in the party, and I don't want to risk not having a good time at that party. Let's keep you away from that because you might be in my ear the whole time. You should have done this. You should have done this with Deadpool. And I just want to have a good time and celebrate this movie.
I think that's a great analogy. But if it's the bride's brother, right, it doesn't matter.
Right. True.
Brother's got to be there.
Right.
And
true.
I would say if it's the creator of Deadpool,
I'm with Rob.
If he's, what? If you're Kevin Feige, let's say Rob, again, we're making this up. This is totally made up.
We don't know the relationship.
No. We're just making this up. I'm just for the sake of a scenario, okay? let's say everybody at Marvel knows that Rob Liefeld, once he gets one drink into him, he turns into this raging, horrible, like just he's a bad drunk, right? And yeah, okay.
Shout out to some people I know. Not gonna say any names, but you know who you are.
Then what I would do, again, if it's a wedding, it's the bride's brother. They got
Right.
So I would say if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm like, okay, I get a couple of people and say, your job at the party tonight is to always be within 10 to 15 feet of Rob Liefeld. And if something starts to go wrong, deal with it, right? Like if he has to be escorted out at some point, escort him out at some point. I don't know how you do not invite the creator of the character to the after party. Again, let me reemphasize. I would say to Rob, you're making too big of a deal out of this. But I would say to Kevin, this is a big deal.
I mean, wow,
this.
they just need to sort out this thing on their own instead of now it's gone public.
Well, this happened like 6-7 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So, right, like I don't think this is ever getting fixed.
Yeah.
If this was going to get fixed, it would have been fixed 4 or 5 months ago. So I don't know, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, saying, I'm cutting all ties with Marvel. He's saying they actively disrespected me, didn't even invite me to the after party of the premiere. They did invite him to the premiere, but I don't know. How do you feel about this? I kind of see both sides of the argument, but do you feel strongly one way or the other? Whatever you think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.